Put your eyes back in your head.
I felt like flavor.
Pry their eyes open and force them to see the truth. We will skin the sheep and sacrifice the weak. The unholy alliance has arrived.
La 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 la. Boy, boy, boy. Boy, 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 boy. Hello, great people. Oh, man. You know, sometimes things are just too funny. A lot of the times, it really is funny. Oh, boy, boy, boy. You can't make this shit up. Nope, can't make it up. La 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 la. Probably why I'm singing. Y'all probably wonder why I'm singing right now. You know, I like to sing when I'm happy. I like to sing, sing on, sing, sing, sing on. Yeah, I like to sing. You know, like I'm on an episode of That's So Real. Yeah, because I can see the future. That's so real. Y'all probably that'll probably get y'all. Y'all probably get it in a few for you slow people that don't get it. So we got a couple of shows. We got a couple of shows on deck, but I like to show y'all my unit. I want to show y'all my unit, okay? So oh man, this is funny. This really is funny, y'all. This is freaking hilarious. Y'all remember when I told y'all a while back that the finger pointing and one of the reasons why I'm bringing this up right now is because, you know, all this brotherly love and all this nonsense, yeah, all this started to come out now. But in case you guys probably have no clue what we're talking about, an article that was written by Sports Illustrated. By Sports Illustrated, okay? It was written by Sports Illustrated. And in this article, a certain guy, yeah, me, okay? Y'all thought I was just up here making up shit when I came up with that. Yeah, y'all thought I was making up stuff when I was me. Yeah. Mike tried to tell y'all. Y'all want to say that, oh man, you taking up a Kirk Cousins. How dare you take up a Kirk Cousins? It's Kirk Cousins' fault. So this article was written by Daniel Flick of Sports Illustrated. You can check him and Scott Kennedy out. Both of those guys we had Scott on the Lady Birds of AFN. Okay, we have him on now, so I might be getting my brother on here too. And Daniel Flick. But man, Mike, I'd like to talk to y'all real quick about something, okay? Let me read this to y'all real fast, okay? Cause around here, we like to be right. We like to be right around here, boy. Hey, so let me read that for you. And before I get into that, hold on. Before I do that, I'm gonna give a little shout out to some people official. Hey, official Miami ATL. Okay, how you doing, sir? Mossberg Mike Crockett, Lookabout Lenore, Franchillo 86. I am Gripping Sports. Will the Thrill, how you doing, sir? Mr. Brian Peeps and Dre Woods, what's going on? D. Sloan, Jerome, Jerome's in the house. How you doing, sir? So everybody who decided to join your boy man Mike around here, I like to say hello to you before I get into this real quick. But it was written by Daniel Flick. And then this article, that was a statement. That was a statement that was put out by Mr. Matthew Judon. And he was like, if it was bad luck. And he said, hell no. He didn't just say no. Motherfucker said, hell no. Okay? If you go look at the film, I dropped into coverage on 60% of the plays. It's hard to pick and a sack on the same play. Judon played 655 snaps and 24. According to Pro Football Focus, he rushed the passer. This is the funny part. He 270 pounds. This is the funny part. This is the funny part. And this is where I'm gonna get into something, because a lot of people they look, we try to ignore the facts, the stats, and the truth, but the facts and the stats are the truth exactly. So, and this, it goes to 328 of those snaps, which equates to 50%. He played 240 snaps in the run defense. Well, that's not necessarily a problem. But you're talking about 240 snaps in run defense, which makes up another 30%. So that leaves 87 snaps, or 13%, where Matthew Judon didn't rush the passer or defend the run. So you tell me that a guy that is, 6'5", 270 pounds, why in the bloody hell you got this guy out of 300 and something snaps, almost 400 snaps? You got damn near 100 snaps. This man ain't doing, like, he, for whatever reason, you got this man 270 some pounds dropping in the damn coverage. Yeah. This man goes out and say, why in the hell you bring this guy in, you spend a third-round pick, and have him dropping in coverage? The man had 5.5 sacks and 7 tackles for losses. But a guy that got 5.5 sacks, why in the hell is he dropping into coverage that much? So you got 87 snaps during the season that a guy that's supposed to be one of your best pass rushers, you got him in coverage. Now, Matthew Judon has never been an athletic freak whatsoever in his entire career. He's never been that. This is what's funny to me. And I'm seeing quite a few people, and this is where I'm going to voice my displeasure with this. Matthew Judon is obviously upset with the fact that he came to the Atlanta Falcons thinking he was going to be here and he's going to rush the passer. Instead, our bright guy, intelligent guy, decides that he wants to put Matthew Judon in coverage. So let me ask you a question, Falcons fans. Last year, would you have considered Matthew Judon to be our best pass rusher? And the second question to go along with that, if his skill set and what he's best at is attacking the quarterback and getting after the quarterback, wouldn't you guys think to put him in passing situation rather than putting him on the field so he can stop the run? So, in my opinion, and this is my humble opinion, I believe we just literally just threw a damn third round pick in the draft so we can bring in a damn run defender. Because you look at these numbers, he's coming in games to stop the run, not pass, not get after the quarterback. And one of the things that we struggled with was literally getting after the quarterback. So instead, you brought in Matthew Judon, paid money for him just so he can come in here and be a run defender. Just think about it. I want y'all to take a second to think about that for a second. We gave away a third round pick, paid a good, 10, 12 million for Matthew Judon? Just so he can stop the run. Stop the run and get in coverage. So that's well over 300 snaps that this son of a bitch came in here and he did not get after the quarterback. Y'all tell me what's wrong with that. Y'all tell me what's wrong with that. Because that right there doesn't make any sense. And I know everybody probably saying to themselves like, hey man, but he still got to play. You brought a guy in here to rush this is what we thought. I think we all can agree with this. No matter how much we believe the scheme was this or this and this person is this or that, I think we can all agree that we brought in Matthew Judon to get after the goddamn quarterback. But you see the numbers for yourself. $240 snaps in run defense. 240 snaps in run defense. 87. So that's 327 snaps that this guy didn't even get after the quarterback. We brought this guy in here to do what now? For run defense and dropping the coverage. So again, that was 13%. Again, it says 13% where Judon didn't either rush the passer or defend the run. So you literally brought him in just to be a damn statue. I don't know what the hell you literally brought Matthew Judon in here just so he can eat up a spot on the field instead of doing what he's supposed to be doing and getting after the quarterback. and we're pointing the finger at Jimmy Lake. This is where we gotta look at that fat head chiclet eating motherfucker right there at quarterback, at head coach, and say, what in the hell are you doing? Because we have a conversation at hand, and this is where I got a major problem with anybody who calls themselves a person of knowledge that love the game, that look at the stats, they look at the film. I got a problem with any one of you guys that say Jimmy Lake is the problem. I got a major problem with that. Why? Why would I have a problem with Jimmy Lake being fired? Because guess what? You're a mother, you're a father. Let me ask y'all something. When y'all kids do some dumb shit at school, they do some dumb shit at work, do their boss call you and say, you know what, your son did something dumb, we're going to fire you? Yeah, that don't even sound right, does it? Your son did something dumb at work, I'm going to fire you. This is what a lot of these content creators want to do. This is what a lot of these analysts want to do. They want to point the finger at the motherfucker that supposedly trained them. Not the one that actually did the shit, the one that's above. Like, we want to look past Raheem, the guy who hired Jimmy Lake, and say, nah, it ain't your fault, Raheem. You know what? It's not your fault. This is all Jimmy Lake. Oh, y'all about to get put on blast right now. I'm glad. I'm glad, y'all. I really am happy that a lot of people are going at, because, oh, you know, I'm gonna put it on the Summer Jam screen. It was Jimmy Lake's fault. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Y'all see it on the screen for yourself. I'm not making this up. So what is the job of the head coach to do? Anybody want to tell me? Anybody want to tell me what the job of the head coach to do when your level of expertise is defense? Let me say this again. Let me slow it down for y'all people. When your level of expertise is defense, no, we're not talking about having a guy like Matt Ryan be the defensive coordinator. Okay, this is his defense. No, Michael, don't look. No. We're gonna get to the real. See, I hate when motherfuckers do this shit. I really hate when motherfuckers do this shit. They want to point the finger at everybody else when your job is the head coach and your expertise is defense. Why the hell are you looking at a guy that's supposed to be what? Running your defense. This is supposed running your defense because this is your defense. Because if you're pointing the finger at Jimmy Lake, it's two things that's a problem with that. For one, why the hell is Jimmy Lake running your defense? Let me say it again. Why is Jimmy Lake running your defense and you talking about a defensive coordinator that never called plays before in the NFL? Why are you allowing a guy that has not been a defensive coordinator that called plays in the NFL. Why are you allowing that? And two, you looking at Raheem Morris. Why, when you're not getting any pass rush, why are you sitting back and just watching the shit show? You think a guy like Bill Parcells is gonna sit back and watch the shit show? You think Bill Parcells is gonna sit back and watch the shit show, watch a defensive coordinator just like blow a 6-3 lead? Can't they damn near dead last in pass rush and getting sacks? Pressure, look, any category that had anything to do with the damn pass rush, the Falcons were dead last in the bottom of the league. Why are you allowing Jimmy Lake to do that? I don't want to look, Southside. Look. No, this ain't good enough. This is even weak. See, Raheem had so much faith in Jimmy Lake to turn around because Lake literally used to be a hick. I don't care nothing about that. Who cares? Players ain't trying to hear nothing about your faith in God or your faith in Jesus or your faith in the football and the faith in your coaches or whoever. Show me the money. Show me the win. It was an absolute shit show for 12 weeks in a row. I don't care nothing about your faith. I don't care nothing about your faith in whoever. I don't give a damn about your faith in Jesus. I don't care about your faith in the damn quarterback and Kirk Cousins. I don't give a damn about your faith in Bijan Robinson. When you see a shit show, do something about it. This wasn't a situation where the Atlanta Falcons had one game, 2 games, or 3 bad football. We're talking about 10 weeks of bad football, of bad defense. We're talking about 10 weeks plus of bad defense. Couldn't get a single pass rush started until late in the season. We saw defensive back lined up in Denver. We saw offensive linemen running down the middle of the field. We're talking about the whole offensive line for the Denver Broncos were 10, 15 yards down the damn field. And they were just shaking the ball down and running screens and running RPO the whole damn game. And this damn goofball didn't do anything. He stood there and watched. And let's just say it's Jimmy Lake's fault. For conversation, let's just say it's all Jimmy Lake's fault. Why did you, as the head coach, watch the shit show? But the biggest thing that I have is, let's say it was Jimmy Lake's plays. Let's just say, for argument's sake, this is all Jimmy Lake's fault. What is the job of a head coach? Because he's supposed to oversee everything. When things go wrong, you're supposed to say, we need to get that fixed. That didn't happen. We watched Kirk Cousins throw 10 interceptions in 4 or 5 games. 1 touchdown. We watched it. We watched our defensive line couldn't get a damn ounce of a damn pass rush for 10, 12 weeks. We watched it. So let's just say all of this is Jimmy Lake's fault. What is Raheem's responsibility in this regard? Because everybody want to point the finger at Jimmy Lake. But the thing is, as an owner, as the team president, as the general manager, as the head coach, why did y'all just sit there and watch the shit show? Nobody, not a single player, and this is why I got a main problem. This is why I got a major problem with this motherfucker on the screen right here. And that damn Grady Jarrett, he's a bitch too. And yes, I'm saying it. We saw Grady do this for how many years? For 8 years in a row. We saw a shit show on defense, and not one player stood up and said, nope, we need to make chances. Nope, us as a player, this shit ain't gonna fly. Y'all sat there like some real good old boys, collecting y'all checks, and didn't say a damn thing. And then when it got too hard, you want to run to Chicago and get you another check, because it was all like that's what it was about. Matthew Judon was a good old boy all last year, and then as soon he don't have a fucking team, he want to sit up here and talk about, you know, man, I don't like that defense. What happened to you speaking out during the season? You didn't speak out. You didn't speak up. You just sat there like a good old boy. This is what happened to Grady Jarrett for 8 fucking years. And then wonder why we ain't got a difference, because we got some bitches on the damn defensive side of the ball. We don't have any more Johnny Abrahams that's willing to go at these damn defense coordinators and willing to go at the media. We got some good ass bitches up in here that'll bend over at the drop of a goddamn dime because they ready for that damn check. Got the nerve to sit up here and say something about a damn Instagram model, but all you motherfuckers ain't nothing but some bunch of fucking Instagram models looking for a goddamn check. Y'all sat there, you sat there for 8 years. Man, we gotta get together, man. This is not acceptable. Man, I want to hear that bull crap. Grady Jarrett had the same speech for 7 years in a row while our defense was absolutely porous, horrid. I remember him speaking up one time, and that was for Duntire Poe. And ever since then, he been a good old boy because he knew his payday was coming up. Tell me when I'm wrong. Tell me somebody on that defense tell me somebody out on that defense that came out and spoke up against Dan Quinn. These are some cowards. Matthew Judon is nothing but a fucking coward. Grady Jarrett ain't nothing but a fucking coward because they looking for their paycheck and they looking out for themselves, and they want to do stuff like this when they don't have a damn job. Now you want to point the fingers at Jimmy Lake. You want to point the finger at Raheem. When now one of you motherfuckers stood up and say, I'm sick of this shit. This defensive line got to step up. We got to get after the quarterback. Y'all sat there like some bitches. Week after week after week after week. Said nothing. Grady Jarrett with that same weak ass political ass talk. Man, we got to do better than this, man. We're better than this. It's the same old stuff. Same shit, different year. Same shit, different year. Same shit, different year. Same shit, different year. And you're right, Drew. If you speak out, you're gonna pay the price. But I got a problem with it. If that's the case, don't pick on Jimmy Lake when he's already gone. Don't pick at Raheem when he's already down. Don't go to the media now. Shut up. Don't go to the media now because you ain't got a job. Now you want to get an attitude. Now you want to say, oh, man, Jimmy Lake and Raheem Morris, I don't like them. That defense, they didn't play me right. We didn't do this. We didn't. Now you want to say all this. If you're going to be that way, shut the hell up. All I'm saying is, yes, Matthew Judon is correct when it comes down to Jimmy Lake and Raheem and the organization. All of these guys. But I got a problem with players is when they're down, now everybody want to start pointing their finger at everybody. If you weren't saying nothing in the beginning, shut up. If you want to be a good old boy and just, understand the system, like if you speak out, you're going to get hit, well, shut up. I respect that. I respect the player that understands he just got to play the game in order to get the money that he feel like and have the career that he feels like he's going to have. I respect that. But this coward ass shit that Matthew Judon is doing, this is exactly what it is. It's cowardice. Now you want to point the finger at Jimmy Lake. Now you want to point the finger, especially Jimmy Lake, when you know Jimmy Lake is already fired. He got a new job, but he's already down. I got a major problem with that. I got a major problem with Matthew Judon. Now you want to be all tough and rough and speak your mind. And yes, Travis, I do, like I said, he's absolutely right. I'm not disregarding what he's saying about this coaching staff. They did not use him correctly. They didn't use a lot of players correctly. But I got a major problem with all these players now. Now you want to have a problem. Now you want to get rough and tough and I don't want to leave. You were singing Raheem praises. Man, Raheem is a great coach, man. Man, Raheem is a great coach. I love playing under Coach Rock. Then he came here. Grady Jarrett was one of the spokesmen that was speaking up for Raheem. Man, I loved it when Raheem, man. We need, he was a great guy for us. And then when he came here and your numbers derailed and went down, Grady got his money, got the hell on. Grady got the hell on. He took his ass to Chicago for that check and then waste no time. That motherfucker was out here in one day. Grady Jarrett was out of here in one day. Hell on. That man got the hell on. Grady Jarrett got the hell on when he look, man. Like I said, a lot of you guys in this chat are absolutely right in regards to, Jimmy Lake, Raheem Morris, Matthew Judon. A lot of those guys didn't get the job done. But my problem is, and I have a major problem with this, is like don't try to act buff and tough and start pointing the fingers at everybody. Look, just move on, bro. Go do better at with another team if you can find another team. I'm just saying, man. Wallace, how you doing, sir? And this right here, Southside, this right here, my brother, this is what I got. Judon basically did what Kurt did to let teams know that he was not washed, just hurt. Judon tells the media he's not trash. He was just used incorrectly. He's no better than Kirk. And that's the problem that I have. When you don't play up to par, don't start pointing the finger at everybody else. You didn't do your job. You still had what? 200 plus opportunities to get out of the quarterback, and you only got 5.5. That's more than enough to get at least 8 sacks. You didn't do that. You had opportunities. You got players on the team that got less opportunities than you did, and they got more sacks than you. So don't sit up here and point the finger at Jimmy Lake and Raheem when you look. You can't tell me, Judon, that out of 200 opportunities to get after the quarterback, that you couldn't get no more than 5 sacks, and you want to point the finger at the defensive coaches? Man, get the fuck out of here. We got players in the league right now that are essentially role players, and they get maybe 150 snaps to get sacks, and they put up more numbers than you. Like this, I have a major problem with everybody trying to be rough and tough and point the fingers at everybody else when they don't do their job. Like I said, man, everybody failed. Okay, everybody failed, and these are the types of players that I don't want on my team. When everything started going bad, like don't come up here and say, man, you did this, and I ain't do this. You point the finger at everybody else except for yourself. Do you, sir? And I agree. When you keep bringing in players at the end of their career, don't be mad when they don't perform. And that's true. Judon, like I said, man, you still had over 150 opportunities to get after the quarterback, and you only did it 5 times. Do you, as a player, you don't see anything wrong with that? Because I do. Because, like I said, we got rookies that didn't even get that opportunity. And a lot of these guys got, I'm talking about not just the Atlanta Falcons, I'm talking about across the league. Focus on yourself, sir, and stop trying to point fingers at everybody else. Strapped up, what's going on, Pimpin? How you doing? It's called taking accountability, man, which some players know nothing about. That's it. Like I said, when you get opportunity, look, man, when I tell y'all, when I show up on anybody's show, I don't step on nobody's show to be second fiddle. I'm going to make a scene. Mad Mike is gonna be one of the most intelligent, knowledgeable, and entertaining motherfuckers. When I step on anybody's show that's not mine, oh, believe you gonna feel me. I'm coming with my best, and if I don't, that's on me. But I know if I go to somebody else's show, I gotta be the best version of me because I'm representing AFN. I'm representing the heavy hitters. I'm representing my crew. I'm representing y'all. And like a lot of, like I said, a lot of people just feel like JD's Simmons had the opportunity to talk trash, but he didn't, even though he had a down year with us. And that's all I'm saying, bro. Like that shit cowardly if for me. That's a bad look as a player. Sometimes you just got to be real about where you are in your career. Maybe you're not as good as you think you are. I mean, as far as the numbers is concerned, in regards to the PFF Pro Football Focus, my thing is, I mean, look, I still believe if you're an edge rusher for the most part, you play on the edge, man, and you get more than 150 opportunities to get after the quarterback, you got to come up with more than 5 sacks. Just saying. I can get that out of a rookie contract. I can get that out of guys. Look, there's plenty of guys in this league that can give you 5 sacks, and I ain't got to pay them $15 million for it. And that right there is the problem that I have. I had a major problem with even Grady Jarrett paying him $20 million to get 4 sacks. What the hell I need with that? Look, you're embarrassing me. That's an embarrassment to me as a general manager and an owner. I pay you $20 million in the best you could do is give me it's 5 sacks, 4 sacks. Grady Jarrett, Matthew Judon, are you kidding me? These guys had less combined. Grady Jarrett and Matthew Judon getting paid over $30 million, and these summer bitches had the fucking mitigated goal to get an attitude, and you couldn't give me more than 10 sacks? You got the mitigated goal to have some fucking attitude. After I done paid you, I done paid you Negroes over $30 million plus out of 2 players, and you summer bitches you got the nerve to get an attitude with the defensive coordinator. You got the nerve to get to get mad at the head coach. Man, you don't sit your goofy ass down somewhere. I understand a guy like Trey Henderson. Why? Because he's putting up this dude is putting up the numbers. He can complain all he wants to. Why? Because he giving his team 15 plus sacks. 10 sacks every year. He has the resume to sit there. He got the right to complain. But you niggas ain't even giving me 10 sacks in 2 years. But you guys a damn nerd to be pointing the finger at goddamn Jimmy Lake and Raheem. Man, you don't sit down somewhere. You got the nerve to point the finger at everybody else and get mad at everybody else when you can't even get me 10 sacks in 2 years. Man, please. You lucky your ass wasn't stuck on the train, the midnight train to Georgia, goddammit. Got some nerve to get an attitude. Look, it's like a wide receiver that has caught 30 passes in the year, and all of a sudden he think he's Superman. Man, you don't sit your goof ass down. Like, come on, bro. Like I said, Trey Henderson had 17 and a half seasons, back-to-back years. He can complain all he wants to. The numbers are there. The team, look, at the end of the day, the Bengals, They low down and dirty. Why? Because this dude putting up the numbers. You can't say, hey, put up the numbers, play well for me, and don't pay me. No, he got the right to be upset. He got the right to hold out if he wants to. Why? Because he putting up the damn numbers. You see it. But this bullshit right here, Grady Jarrett and Matthew Judon sitting up here with 5 sacks every year talking about, I'm mad. Man, you don't sit your ass down somewhere. Bobby Means, how you doing, sir? 4 damn sacks at this point. I would have made a play for Hennessy. Judon is a joke. 5 freaking sacks. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's sad. Be up here mad when you putting up 5 sacks. Man, you don't, man, please. Joe Taste Boy, how you doing, bro? Got all these players up here mad, putting up damn 2 and 3 and 4 sacks. Man, please. I ship your ass back to goddamn the CFL. You got some nerves. All right, think about that for a second, y'all. We got guys up here putting up 4.5 and 5.5 sacks and 6.5 sacks up here asking for 20 million. Man, what? Look, you talking about pimp slap? Oh my God. Oh my God. And appreciate the $5 super chat. Got some damn nerd to be sitting up here talking about something. Up here talking about Jimmy Lake and Raheem when you putting up 5.5 sacks. That's a way to sit up here and not take accountability. Look, no sir. Like I said, that's no. And like I said, that's like I said, you putting up numbers, you doing your thing. Is it why you wait till now to say something when Jesse Bates had a complaint? He held the DB meeting. Look, this right here is why I respect Jesse Bates. I've seen Matt Ryan. Him, bro, it was him, Julio, Roddy, all the receivers. You know, when they had an issue with Kyle Shanahan, they had a meeting. When we heard it. We heard about it. I don't recall ever. And you know what? It just makes me that much more angrier. Is listening to like I said, it just makes me that much more angrier that I feel like, and this is just me being honest. And like I said, Grady Jarrett was a great player but at the end of the day, he's not who I thought he was. Nothing wrong with that. I was dead ass wrong about Grady Jarrett because I don't recall him hearing Grady Jarrett had a defensive line meeting. Oh, we got to get it. No, he sat there week after week. Man, we got to do better. We got to do better, man. This is unacceptable. We got to do our thing. Like, I don't want to hear that. Do something about it. Throw a goddamn Gatorade bottle at somebody or some shit. Start a fight. Cuss a motherfucker out like Brian Cox did on the sideline to Rashid Hageman. Challenge each other. Like, that's what I'm talking about. This man is a leader. Like I said, he wasn't. And I'm perfectly fine being wrong about Grady. And look, this is not a shit on Grady, but at the end of the day, in order to be successful, we need the players to run the asylum a lot of the times. The players have to run the team. The players have to run the defensive meetings. They have to run the defense. They have to step up. It can't always be the head coach. It can't always be the defense coordinator. It can't always be the defense line guy. We need captains. This is why we got captains for each room, for each position. We know for a fact that Chris Lindstrom runs that offensive line room. Him and Jake are the guys. You got to go through Chris. You got to go through Jake. We know that. We know who the leaders are on this team in each position. We know this. When the DBs ain't going and playing well, guess what? We know Jesse Bates got that. So, like I said, man, look, I'm not saying that, Judon was used properly, but a lot of guys weren't being used properly. What's going on, Rich? How you doing, sir? Christy, how you doing, girl? AJ Terrell said this year is the players' lead not putting it on the coaches this year. Look, this is something that we've been stating for quite some time. And look, I'll be the first one to tell you, the way we put things is a little bit vulgar and a little bit aggressive, but this is what we mean. We need the players to be able to step up and discipline and challenge each other. Yes. But this is what I'm talking about. Like, we need the players to be able to step up. I don't look. I see Grady Jarrett celebrating when he make a play, but shit. I need somebody in that defense in its entirety to make it uncomfortable for players who don't step up and do their job to the best of their ability. Make it uncomfortable. These players are way too comfortable just cashing in a check and going the fuck home. I need somebody like Kobe Bryant. I heard stories about Kobe Bryant made it so uncomfortable in the Lakers locker room. He made it so uncomfortable for guys to come up and not perform. He would literally punch guys in the face. I've heard stories about Michael Jordan punching guys because they weren't working hard. They weren't challenged. Like they weren't doing what they needed them to do. Like, we need players to be able to make it uncomfortable. We can't just always focus and have it being the coaches. No, we need players to make it uncomfortable. Make it uncomfortable for them. You're not just going to come to the Atlanta Falcons and just coast and catch a check. Nah, if you don't do your job, whether it's special teams, kicker, punter, it don't matter. Make it uncomfortable for them. And too many times, man, I just worry about my dude. I just do my job. I'm just do my job, man. I'm not that type of leader. Man, get out of here, man. And y'all wondering why we don't have a championship? It's because these punk ass players that we got. I hate to say it like that. Look, they some cowards. We got a lot of cowards. We've had a lot of cowards on the defense side of the ball. We can't have cowards on the defense side of the ball. We need some thugs. We need some killers. We need some real ninjas on this mud. We need some real people. We need somebody who's gonna spit in somebody's face. We need somebody like J.J. Watt that's gonna break his damn arm and still get on the fucking field and say, look, I'm not coming off this fucking field, even with this broken ass arm, even with this shot shoulder, even with this shot knee. I'm still gonna show up and I'm still gonna do my thing, even when I'm hurt. Motherfucker have a broken ankle and they ready to come out the damn ankle. Oh man, I can't play, man. I got a load management. Man, please. And we wondering why we don't have a championship because we got a bunch of punk ass defensive players. If we get more Jesse Bates who's willing to step up and be that vocal leader and be that guy that correct not only himself but his position, bro, we good. Bro, you can't play no bully ball without no bullies. You can't. How you gonna play bully ball without somebody that's menacing? Look, man, where that comment at? Bruh, this right here. Look, I don't heard about Michael Jordan like punching guys in the eye, punch Steve Kerr in the eye, because Steve Kerr challenged him. Like them guys were going at it. And Steve Kerr ain't act like no little punk and say, man, you know, man, Mike, Mike did that. That's wrong what Mike did to me. No, he stepped up, did his job, and look at it. He took it in stride. And look at Steve Kerr. He challenged himself, and now he's one of the greatest coaches to ever coach. He was challenged, and he took it on. Like I said, we can't keep looking at all the coaches. Got to challenge these players to step up, man. I've been hearing a lot of noise about Shador. Oh, Shador ain't this, he ain't this, he ain't that. Well, we gonna find out now. We gonna find out what he is. Yeah, he's been given more opportunities because he is prime son, but like we gonna see now what he made out of. I do respect the fact that he ain't. Oh man, I can't believe he ain't pulling the Colin Kaepernick. Oh, the what? Hey, against me, the white man against me, the white man against me. No, if you believe you that good, look, take it in stride. Wherever you been drafted at, look, take it in stride and say, hey, I gotta work now. And that's what Shador doing. He ain't fucking going on a whole campaign on, oh, the white man against me. Oh, the white man against me. So, like I said, Quiz Joe, how you doing? Appreciate you, Sterling Woods. I believe Pearson and Walker's those guys, but but like I said, for me, I think when it come down to Raheem, it's like again, it goes back to if you did not see the show yesterday with Mark Ramondi, very good article. Like I said, you can check him out. He's the ESPN reporter for the Atlanta Falcons. And like I said, good guy, great guy. Definitely had a good conversation with him. And like I said, man, he got a book that's coming out. I'm definitely getting that. It's on the NWO, no, World Order. Yeah, it's going to be on that. Myself and K-Style is definitely going to get it. But like I said, man, oh, Jermaine, how are you, sir? I like these comments because it just show you how. So Jermaine, let me ask you a question. What don't you like what I said? If you think I'm being disrespectful or ignorant in any way, where was I disrespectful and what am I getting wrong? Because you say, bro, why don't you go coach since you so great? I wonder if he's one of them hit and runs. People love hit and run when it come down to me. And us at Atlanta Falcons Nation, Holy Line, they love the hit and runs. But look, I got time. I loves it. So, Mr. Jermaine, okay, Jermaine Williams, what is it that I'm not getting, sir, Mrs.? Because you know all these people with these damn, these different pronouns and shit today. I don't want to be disrespectful, but what am I getting? What am I getting wrong? Why am I coming off as a know-it-all? Because I've said time and time again that I am mentored by legends of the game, and I'm talking about a legend in this Atlanta Falcons organization. Taught me a lot. I'm mentored by one of the guys that I respect on Atlanta Falcons Nation, and who was a coach himself, and that's AKA Mr. Coach Unchained. I was mentored and had certain conversations with not only people like Torrey McElhaney, a lot of Falcons legends that we've sat down. Ed Hartwell, I had conversations with Ed Hartwell, OJ Santiago. Yeah. So where am I coming off as a know-it-all? Is it because your motherfucking ass is stupid? See, when people stupid, they try to accuse you of being too smart because they too fucking stupid them damn selves. So don't let other people's stupidity make you feel any type of way, because the Jermaines of the world, they too stupid, so they accuse you of being too smart or being a know-it-all because they too fucking stupid. I told you we get a lot of these hit and runs. All right, we get a lot of you talking about some real. See, I told you. He still ain't. He told me to suck a penis. I told you. Look, I told you that he, she, it, they. That's exactly what you are. Them he, shit, days. He, she, it, days. You see this? I ask a question and you say, "Oh, trucker." Yeah. So he never answered what am I getting wrong, and why am I coming off as a know-it-all? He just I guess he's just wanting to be seen, his little 5 seconds of fame. I guess those the only words that he can say is sucker, you know what. Told you. When people are stupid, they accuse you of being too smart. Hey man, we got Big Sam, OG Sam coming up soon. I'm not gonna go too long. He's coming up real soon, but I appreciate guys like Jermaine Williams. Y'all really give me the motivation to keep doing what I'm doing, man. Ain't nothing but all love. But if you were offended, then I'm doing my job. You just be talking your opinion. Okay. So y'all head over to Mr. White Sports Network. No, I never speak my opinion in regards to I never just solely speak my opinion. I back up my opinion with facts. I back up my opinion with film. And this is where you guys are mad at us because we are like real, and shout out to Christy like this, because we're real scientists. We take our job seriously and to teaching and helping Falcons fans become more knowledgeable about the game because you don't back yours up with facts, stats, the truth, along with film. Y'all mad at us and accuse us of being know-it-alls because you're too stupid, you're too ignorant to learn the game the right way. And that's all I got to say. Why? Because I'm Mad Mike, and this is Atlanta Falcon Nation, the Unholy Alliance, the heavy hitters. So Jermaine, keep coming back, sir. That's all good. If you want to be mean and nasty, that's all good for you. But like I said, I take this all. I take this as a compliment. If you this upset about an opinion that that I actually backed up with numbers, facts, and yeah. So I back these things up, and I don't tell people to sucker. You know what? So like I said, man, it's all good. I believe the Lady Birds are going to be on tonight. So Christy Lewis, as well as Auntie Pam, Maggie T, and we got Whitney J. And congratulations, shout out to Asia too. She just graduated college, so truly proud of her. Like I said, a lot of Ladybirds at AFN. We got a lot of stuff coming on, but like I said, man, it's all good, baby, baby. This ain't the first time I've been called stupid, ugly, know-it-all, a cult leader. I've been threatened to get killed. People don't threaten to kill me. People threaten to beat me up at training camp. People threaten to beat me up at LA Fitness. So on and so on. So Jermaine's, just keep it coming, Pimp. That's all I got to say. And that's the bottom line because Mad Mike said so. Peace.